Montreal police have launched an investigation into this week's devastating hit on a Montreal Canadian player.
And the lights go out at Humber. We get the scoop on last night's power outage. Humber News starts right now.
Hello, it's Thursday, March 10th. Welcome to Humber News, coming to you from the Broadcast Center here at the North Campus. I'm Kathleen Peroff. Thanks for joining us.
And I'm Miranda Anthasol. Ahead on our show, we have all your sports, news, and entertainment highlights, as well as your 5-day weather forecast. But first, Kathleen has our top story.
Quebec police have launched an investigation into the body check that left Montreal Canadiens forward Max Pacioretty severely injured. There was further fallout today as well. Air Canada, a major NHL sponsor, announced it will withdraw its financial support from the league if action is not taken to reduce the number of concussions caused by the violent contact in hockey. Reporter Steph Springer has this report on Humber's response to the controversy.
This is the hit that sparked police investigation into whether assault on the ice can be criminal. Montreal Canadian Max Pacioretty was left with a broken vertebra and concussion, but the league found it to be an acceptable hockey play. Humber paramedic student Zach Hess recently suffered a concussion playing in a men's hockey league and says hitting is part of the game, but something needs to be done to protect the players.
It's definitely something that needs to be cracked down on. I mean, no one wants athletes to get hurt, especially the best ones in the game. But at the same time, hitting and fighting is both a part of hockey. We're Canadians, is kind of what we do.
It may not be that simple. Humber head of athletic therapy Jennifer Bell says recent studies have shown severe long-term consequences.
They're really linking some of the dementia and Alzheimer's-like diseases in athletes are associated to multiple concussions and hits to the head.
But student Alyssa Ferreira says the issue of concussions has been magnified now that it has affected major players.
Would there be even a topic right now if Sidney Crosby wasn't even out?
The police investigation into the incident with Zdeno Chara is ongoing, and Air Canada's decision to withdraw sponsorship from the NHL is still pending. Regardless, momentum to change Canada's national sport to protect the athletes is definitely building. Steph Springer, Humber News.
NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman has just spoken on the issue of concussions. He says there's no need to over-legislate this and that if Air Canada wants to pull their sponsorship, the league can easily find another carrier.
Ontario's Special Investigations Unit has reopened the case of a Toronto man who had his shoulder and arm fractured during last summer's G20 protests. The victim, in a red shirt, can be seen in this video being dragged by police after being arrested. 42-year-old Knut Fernandez was knocked to the ground by protesters and police. Initially, the SIU said it did not have enough evidence to proceed, but the recent discovery of this video provided new information.
Mayor Rob Ford has brought down the House. After one failed attempt to oust the last 4 remaining directors of the Toronto Community Housing Corporation, Council voted last night 25-18 to remove them. Ford's proposal passed just before midnight after a 6-hour debate. The mayor says Councillor Case Otis will most likely be the solo interim director until May. Keiko Nakamura still holds her position as CEO.
A volunteer group dedicated to minimizing the death of migratory birds is displaying close to 2,000 dead birds in an exhibit at the Royal Ontario Museum. Every year, thousands of birds are killed by slamming into the reflective glass of office buildings. The Fatal Light Awareness Program says the exhibit is just in time. Next month, managers of a Scarborough office tower will face animal cruelty and environmental charges after more than 800 birds were killed or injured last year due to their mirrored glass exterior.
A power outage hit several areas of the GTA last night. Toronto Hydro crews spent 2 hours trying to resolve the issue, which they say was caused by extreme weather conditions. Our reporter Emery Johnston has more.
People sat in darkness for over 3 hours after last night's weather caused several power outages in areas including Etobicoke. The blackout struck shortly after 7 p.m. around Humber College North Campus. Some local residents saw these strange lights right before their power went out.
I don't know, at first we were really scared. Like, we thought, all I could go through my head was like, oh my god, 2012. Like, I thought we were going down for sure.
There's this big, huge blue light and then the huge flash. And then so all of us like flipping out because the power goes out and I'm like screaming at everyone. I'm like, it's aliens, it's aliens.
Director of Public Safety, Pervez Dita, explains what may have caused this.
There was a transformer that's located at the junction of Highway 27 and Humber College Boulevard. and that actually went faulty. So they must probably saw maybe some arcing possibly from that location.
Toronto Hydro has also reported several cases of downed power lines. They are encouraging people to not approach or touch these wires. And although the issue of power has been restored, this wet weather is expected to continue until Saturday. Emery Johnston, Humber News.
Premier Dalton McGuinty wants more high school students to go to post-secondary school. McGuinty told the crowd at a fundraising dinner last night that Ontario students can expect more help from the province. He says no student will be turned away for lack of space or money. He made the promise that the government will make the room and find the financial support needed. No details yet on how this plan would be financed.
The Toronto District School Board has voted to assemble a special task force to tackle the 34% dropout rate among students of Portuguese heritage. The board's figures show that about 1 in 3 students of Portuguese background fail to graduate from high school. The school board task force will start to examine the issue in April.
The Times Higher Education publication has ranked the world's 100 best universities, and 4 Canadian schools made the list. The University of Toronto was ranked in 17th place, McGill University in 29th, and the University of British Columbia in 31st, while the University of Waterloo trailed behind in 91st place. Harvard University took home the top spot.
When we come back, we'll have more news from around the country and the world. Tom Yanni will have the sports news, and we'll have your weather forecast with Sarah Jacob.
Rain, rain, go away. I'll let you know if this rain is here to stay. Your weather report is coming up right after the break.